What's up, Gemini? This is Soul from Intuitive Tarot here to look at your week ahead, starting July 21st, 2025. Gemini, I hope all is well. Welcome in new subscribers to my channel. I appreciate you, and I definitely appreciate the comments that come to me, Gemini. Keep them coming. I don't respond to all of them, but I do read them. I love to read them. I enjoy them. The deck I am using will be listed in the description box, and no reading of any reversals here. If my voice sounds muffled, I'm still trying to get over a cold that I picked up from one of the clients that I work with. She actually ended up with bronchitis. And so, yeah, I never catch a cold in the summer, okay? And it sort of threw me for a loop. I thought I had COVID. I tested myself. It wasn't COVID. I just picked up this cold from this client. But anyway, enough about that. What's the energy here for Gemini? Okay, what's surrounding Gemini? What's the potential? Excuse me. What is the potential energy for Gemini coming up this week? All right, so cleansing the energies after dawn. Taurus's messages. Let's see what's coming up for Gemini. Start off with the first card for you, the Page of Pentacles. Okay, next card is the King of Cups, Father of all love. Death card, Major Arcana. Following that, we have the Nine of Swords. Following the Nine of Swords, we have the Page of Cups. So we have some people here in the spread. Four of Swords, rest, relaxation, rejuvenation, replenishment. Another person is here, the Knight of Cups. Wow. Following that, now we have the Three of Cups. Interesting. On top of the Page of Cups, we're going to throw the Seven of Swords. Swords on top of the Page of Cups. I always talk about pregnancy news, cesarean section. Then we have the Two of Cups. Interesting, that's being thrown on the Four of Swords. Following that, on top of the Knight, now we have the Nine of Cups, Gemini. Wow. Last card in the spread is the Four of Pentacles. All right, let's pull this energy here together to make sense out of it. But this seems like an interesting week for some of you. And of course, I'm going to throw a clarifier on that Nine of Swords. But let's start with the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, of course, you know, is any energy related to an offering of a job, maybe a birth of a business idea, it could be a contract. Pages always start things off. Next card up is the Father of all love, the King of Cups, nurturing, caring, supportive, definitely intuitive. Pay attention to your intuition. Strongly, I can't urge you guys enough to make sure that when it comes to your intuition, that those instincts that you get in your gut, really, and the inner voices that you hear, you have to pay attention to those. All right, so he's male energy, so it could represent any, father, boyfriend, husband, grandfather, uncle, brother, usually a family man, takes care of not only his family, but it still could be a loving person who doesn't have a family, but, really puts their energy out there and loving everybody else. Okay, so that's what he does. The King of Cups also too can pull in and form together, as always, platonic relationships as well as romantic partnerships. Though you have the King of Cups in your spread, I always say that if you have it in your spread, then you may already be receiving that energy that comes from the King of Cups, the love, the devotion, dedication, commitment from family members, friends, romantic partners, even co-workers. Death card, Major Arcana, is major life transformation. Doesn't mean physical death. It means that there's some sort of cycle or energy that's coming to an end that you may have to identify, put to an end, put to a close. Then something new is always going to replace that. Okay. Now, I know the death card oftentimes seems to be terrifying for most people who don't understand tarot, but it never ever, means physical death. But there is an aspect of your life that's coming to an end that needs to be put to an end, but only you can identify that. And the most simplest thing that I always assign to this death card, Gemini, is that you could be just getting rid of clutter. Okay, whether it's in the home or whether it's in the office. Nine of Swords here is feelings of betrayal, Being lied to, feeling the shame, having to deal with unresolved conflicts from your recent past, distant past, seeking some sort of relief. This is usually, regarded as a lot of pain and suffering in silence. And a lot of times that pain and suffering in silence, no one else knows about but you. Okay? Feeling like you're pulled in many different directions in terms of making choices or decisions. Yes, that could place a lot of strain and create a lot of stress for you when the mind of a Gemini, where you got so much stuff going on, so many things that you want to try or attempt, it creates stress. So it could be just that. I also talk about the Nine of Swords being in your spread. Could be the barrier or the blockage for someone that you're close to. And usually I talk about someone could be, incarcerated. And it would be, of course, their Nine of Swords energy as opposed to your Nine of Swords energy. Seeking that relief through any means to reduce the conflicting energies that are, that you are dealing with. That's, prescription medication for high anxiety, okay? Also depression, non-prescription, drinking, smoking, whatever's going to help you to relieve and ease the pain of the suffering that you may be dealing with. All right, so but why is the Nine of Swords here? Let's see. Why is the Nine of Swords here in this spread? What's going on? And, this could also be just you having to Gemini, extremely overthink about things. But to clarify, it always shows up. It's about somebody. It's about a person or persons. The Nine of Swords is being clarified by the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups represents love and relationships. So those are other people. Family members, friends, romantic partners. So there's some Gemini that I am reading for possibly has some sort of unresolved in conflict with those that I just mentioned. Simply put. Okay? Whoever it may be. Following the Four of Cups in terms of clarifying that Nine of Swords, we have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, again, start things off like the Page of Coins. Page of Cups, though, is pregnancy news, right? Childbirth. It could be a job offer. It could be a Gemini that I'm reading for that may have entered into a new relationship and it's less than 30 days old. It's still new. It's still fresh. Page of Cups has the ability to form, again, like the King of Cups, platonic relationships as well as romantic partnerships. Following the Page of Cups, we have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, resting, quieting your mind, but it also could be seen as the reduction of having to work on the Nine of Swords energies. If this Nine of Swords energy is what's affecting or impacting some Geminis that I'm reading for this week. This is you having to quiet yourself down from this Nine of Swords. Things are getting better, but you still need to detach and replenish your energy, rejuvenate. We didn't get any movement cards here, so you could be the Gemini that I'm reading for that's planning a trip in the near future. Following that Four of Swords, we have the Knight of Cups. Specifically, the Knight of Cups is about those Geminis who are in, romantic situations. You're getting out of that relationship and that which you are putting into. But also, too, keep in mind that this Knight of Cups here sits underneath this Death card. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's some sort of relationship that's coming to an end. Romantic relationships specifically, it could mean that the Death card could signify that there's going to be some sort of change occurring within that relationship. Meaning that, it could be that if you were dating, this is just an example. If you're dating, then it moves from dating into proposals or marriage, ending of singlehood into partnership. Okay, that's how I'm reading that. But it also could mean something else for someone else. Okay, so let's be clear about that. After the Knight of Cups, we have the Three of Cups. So there's joy, happiness, success, celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, spending quality time with family members, friends, romantic partners, co-workers after work for happy hour. That would be your Three of Cups always. All right, so here's over here to the Page of Pentacles. Someone could be happy about a job offer or something coming in terms of a business offer. Seven of Swords lands on the Page of Cups. I already talked about pregnancy news, cesarean section. Seven of Swords is those people that you have already disconnected your energies from. Gemini, distance yourself from your family, maybe cut friends off, maybe ex-romantic partners. They may be, the energy may be still lingering. Maybe it's connected to the Nine of Swords. These people always have a potential of resurfacing, and just to let you know, to give you the heads up, if they do resurface and represent themselves, then they're just going to create more conflict and chaos for you. They're not going to bring anything new to the table or add to the plate. So just make sure that you are using your intuition to know when someone is back in your life trying to pull the wool over your eyes. If it's not that type of energy that you experience this week, Gemini, I always say that the Seven of Swords for me is about the return or the findings of material things that you thought you lost, misplaced, put down, forgotten about. Following the Seven of Swords, on top of the Four of Swords, we have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is specific about the relationships for those Geminis that are in committed partnerships, right? You're getting, again, out of the relationship and that what you are, putting in. You're spending quality time with one another. This could be a first invitation out on a date for any single Gemini that I'm reading for. And the Two of Cups, like the Page of Cups, like the King of Cups, outside of the fact that they pull these relationships and form, bringing them together, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Cups is the only two cards that I regard as specific for pulling in romantic partnerships. All right. Next up, following the Two of Cups, is the Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment card, Gemini. Look at that. Wish fulfillment. Okay, yes, answer to any romantic questions. It lands on the Knight of Cups. Not an even number of cups, but again, on an emotional scale, what you put out there is what you're going to get back. This is the card that I equate with the Star card. So again, you get all of the stars energy, right? So that's social media, social networking, meeting someone famous, stargazing, dream journaling. There you go. Then the Nine of Cups, again, like the King of Cups, is in that group where if it's in your spread, again, you may be already receiving the love, the commitment, the devotion from those people that you are closest to. Last card I have for you, Gemini, in this spread is the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, she's holding the rag dolls. There's something that you may need to release because you're holding on to it too securely. All right, you could be still getting a small pay raise this week, or you're saving up for something greater. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. Gemini, not too bad. Just remember, it's me interpreting these messages here for you. Take what's going to work for you, leave the rest alone. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Throw the comments in. I love to read the comments. You guys have a safe, great week ahead. Always come back here to get more of these messages from me, Gemini, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.